Hello, listeners, and welcome to the Sonic Shuffle, a holistic and random Sonic lore podcast. I am Dan, your teacher.
And I'm Morg, the student.
And we rolled Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog again last week, so we're just going to be talking about more of that.
Yes, and I watched one of the episodes just before we started recording, actually. So it'll maybe be a slightly different dynamic this time, but I feel like Dan probably has the better notes still.
Honestly, it's probably best if we both engage to some degree or another. Just like there is a certain fun in trying to describe stuff, but I figure you'd be missing out if on some of these things, especially with something so incredibly visual as Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. Actually, what was it like for you to watch this?
You are super right about, like, it being very Looney Tunes-esque. Like, I couldn't stop thinking about Sonic being Bugs Bunny, like, constantly throughout, and not in, like, a bad way. Like, it still had its own flavor to it, especially, like, the backgrounds and stuff being very, like, the orange sky or whatever, like whatever spacey sky they seem to have colors it a lot differently. But yeah, no, I thought it was a fun time, and I wouldn't mind necessarily watching more of it. But yeah, I mean, this probably won't be the case for a lot of the stuff we're doing, just because a lot of it's like reading or like playing watching someone play the game probably, but
Yeah, I think that's what we'll have to do for the games, honestly. I might play a bit. I can't play all of them because right now I only have access to my PC, and with that I only have access to Sonic games that are on the PC, which doesn't include games like Hero, Shadow 06, etc. We're going to be discussing at least one episode, and if we finish discussing soon enough, we might go into a second one.
I was just like, before we even like start the thing, I felt like I didn't listen to the intro for this one like I did for Underground until today, and the theme song like has like Flight of the Bumblebee in it, and then like some other well-known song that I don't remember the name of. And then there was like another song I recognized. It was all kind of like non-copyrighted music and stuff.
Thinking about it now, I do wonder, because like it samples stuff like Flight of the Bumblebee and Hall of the Mountain King. I wonder if that's like
the one.
I wonder if that has to do with like the Looney Tunes influence, since like a lot of those like included classic opera and classical music. So I guess we can get into this. We're watching episode 3, Lovesick Sonic. This one opens with a sexy anthro lady getting chased by Scratch and Grounder.
I had no idea she was a hedgehog until they called her one, because you cannot tell what she is.
Yeah, we just get it mentioned at some point. Also, we get her name mentioned at some point, which is Breezy. I'll just refer to her from Breezy from here on out. But also, yeah, she does not look anything like Sonic. You would think they would try to make her look a little bit like Sonic if they wanted to make her a hedgehog.
Yeah, like at least like Amy and Sonia, like even though they're like clothed and like women, like they still look like Sonic. They're still like his height.
That actually does make me want to bring up something, which is in the reboot era of the Archie comics, which was at that point being written and drawn by like longtime fans of Sonic, they did have Breezy show up again, and they very much redesigned her to like look like a traditional Sonic anthro.
Ooh.
Yeah. They did that with pretty much all of the older media characters in those comics. I'll save that image reference for when we eventually get to the arc Breezy is in, which will be a very long time because it is. I'm going to have to get through about. I was around early 2010, so. Like 15 to 20 years of Sonic.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So
That's so much Sonic.
it's an irresponsible amount of Hedgehog.
We're overdosing on Hedgehog. Oh man. Okay. Scratch's chicken laugh is so fucking stupid. His chicken laugh is so funny.
I love it, yeah. Sonic hears them chase them catching Breezy, and he goes to rescue them, and there's a whole little comedy bit where they try to interrogate Breezy, and Grounder tries to shoot Sonic with a glue gun, I guess.
Yeah, like a high-tech glue gun, but he misses. It lands on the ground.
Yeah, Sonic puts on a photographer disguise and tricks Scratch and Grounder into walking into the glue, and he saves Breezy. He takes her to where he and Tails are camping out. I think in this series, Sonic just is sort of a wandering hero. I guess he's a hobo. Homeless. I don't know why I said that because the unfortunate D&D term murder hobo popped into my brain.
Yeah, he seems nomadic, and I mean, I'm sure this is the era where that term would be used. Not murder hobo, but hobo. Tails is just angry immediately at this woman. He's like, who's this? Who's this fucker?
Yeah, Tails hates this woman, and
wow, can't believe Tails is a misogynist.
Regrettably, I can believe it.
Damn.
She, Sonic instantly falls in love with her, and he starts simping for her. Breezy sends him on some fetch quests. The first fetch quest is to get I wrote this down, the Mobesium Marvelosa Marigoldiums. This is also the only thing I wrote down the name of.
Yeah, I mean, the rest is kind of bullshit. But yeah, because, he tried to give her flowers, but she's like, I hate these. Get me, better ones. Do these 3 trials to get some better flowers. Prove yourself to me, fucker.
He goes to the equator, which basically looks the same as the regular landscape, and he deals with some hazards like alligators and snakes and cannibals. There's a whole bit where he meets a guide and he tells him to watch out for these 3 things.
Yeah, it's weird because I'm always iffy about cannibals in media, just because it's a lot of times they're weird, they're always they're always native caricatures. But at least, I thought they were gonna be people or something, but they're pigs.
Yeah, they're pigs, and Sonic does. I don't remember what Sonic actually does. Oh, but he gets through all this. He has to fight a dragon to get the flowers.
Yeah, there's a fucking dragon, but people keep trying to eat him. People keep trying to war Sonic, but he has quills.
Yeah.
The dragon doesn't like to be on fire, even though it breathes fire. Strange. We live in a society.
I mean, I guess that just makes him a Targaryen.
Oh, damn.
He brings the flowers back to Breezy, and then Breezy sends him on another fetch quest for chili dogs in the ice territory, and Sonic simps away. He gets some directions from a polar bear, and the polar bear calls up Dr. Robotnik, and we get Robotnik chilling in a bathrobe in Fez, and
we see his feet. We see his.
I did not pay attention to Robotnik's feet, but I guess they are out there.
I didn't mean
It's
to.
okay.
They were just like, I don't know. I thought he'd be wearing shoes.
Or like cartoon slippers or something.
Yeah, like if he's in a bathrobe, like why isn't he wearing cartoon slippers?
Yeah. This next scene is like just full. These next few scenes are just full of bits from YouTube poops that I remember watching as a kid. Like him punching Grounder and shouting silence. We find out that Breezy is Robotnik's secret agent working for him to manipulate Sonic. And he changes into a pilot outfit. The part where he says no at one point, and that's in a lot of YouTube poop clips.
And the funny pilot outfit where he tightens his waist, and it's a funny fat joke. But anyway.
So, he's gonna go ahead and drill into a reservoir so he can flood a village that's nearby his lair.
That has humans in it?
I didn't notice, but I guess it kind of has some sort of cartoon human thing going on.
Yeah, I was like, why is everyone else not?
Yeah, and it's not like this thing I've got to mention, which is that it's not always humans and anthros in the show either. Sometimes it's just bizarre cartoon monstrosities. There's an episode that we'll get to at some point where all the people living in a village are sentient hot dogs.
Okay. This is a shitpost?
Yeah. Watching this, I can see why a lot of people use the show in their YouTube poops. It's a lot.
I wonder, that's something though. I wonder if it's the animation is more, even though we keep making comparisons to Looney Tunes, I think the animation is, at least in some cases, there's more surrealness to it, because people didn't use Looney Tunes cartoons as often in YouTube poops. They still probably got used and underground ones that I never saw, but I think it's just because it's so fucking wet, weird, and the colors are so bright too.
I also wonder how accessible, if it might have been more accessible, because I know for a fact that Hotel Mario was used in a lot of YouTube poops, not only because it was weird, but because there was actually this one site where you could download all the clips.
Oh, that makes sense. It might have just been online more. Yeah.
Sonic comes back from the freezing cold Arctic zone with the chili dog, and he's a snowman at first, and he has to warm up in the fire, and then Breezy tells him to go someplace 600 miles away to heat up the chili dog.
I thought she was gonna make him go into a volcano.
Yeah, they just say some oven, rent a oven or whatever.
But it's still miles and miles away though.
Yeah. And then Tails after Sonic goes away, Tails confronts Breezy about how she's treating Sonic like shit. And then she throws him in the river.
Yeah, she just fucking yeets Tails into the river.
Yeah.
And he's just fucking drowning.
Scratch and Grounder show back up again. And they discuss with Breezy to set up a big trap for Sonic.
Sonic gets canceled.
Yeah.
They want to cancel Sonic. They actually say the words, time to cancel Sonic.
Shit, they do say that.
Yeah! They're oh, guess we have the receipts on Sonic. Time to cancel him. Damn. He's been so abusive to Robotnik. Okay, I'll stop. I'm sorry.
I can't believe Sonic started dating Elon Musk.
No! Oh no! This is terrible. Now I have to think about Sonic and Elon Musk having a child together. You fucker.
I'm so sorry. But
God
now that
damn
I
it.
have the opportunity, what bizarre name would they name their child?
I don't know, because some of the some of it was like Grimes's like artistic, like I'm gonna be unique. Maybe like the formula for like the speed of light.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, which it could have just been like, or like the E equals MC square, like the energy mass light thing. You know,
Uh,
got to get both their tastes in there, I guess.
right. Uh,
Or Tesla, even though like it's his fucking company, just because like electricity. I feel like Sonic being fast is associated a lot with electricity, but yeah.
right. Uh, Tails is able to escape his watery grave by flying out of a waterfall. Breezy, Scratch, and Grounder set up the trap, and we get a big explanation on how this thing is supposed to work. Like, there's a big treadmill that Sonic's going to land in, and then that's going to generate power for a magnet, and that's going to get him stuck, and it'll create a force field.
Because he'll be like electromagnetic. He's
Yeah.
electromagnetic from that. And then if that fails, then they'll cancel him by smushing him.
Yeah.
They have like several backup plans.
There's like
Grounder fucks up one of them.
Yeah, at first he's gonna crush Sonic with a tree, but then he cuts it too soon and crushes Scratch. Breezy needs to call Robotnik, and like Grounder says like his phone is broken. Also, this is where we establish that like basically all of Robotnik's robots have like a cell phone built into them. Well, not even a cell phone, a rotary phone built into them so they can call Robotnik.
Yeah, this is so funny because it's pre-cell phone. So we're having not to cross promote, but in fucking Wow Cool Robot, everyone's using a rotary phone in that also, just because it's fucking old as shit. So like, they don't do the Star Trek thing where they have communicators that end up, like cell phones end up looking kind of like that. No, they just they just communicate by pulling up a phone with a cord.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And then like Breezy's like, "Oh, your thing's broken. Cool, I'll use mine." And then she like opens up her stomach and pulls out a phone to call Dr. Robotnik. And like, and then we find out, "Oh shit, Breezy's a robot."
And Tails has been watching this the whole time, but we don't know he's there until he's like, she's a robot, even though he didn't even react to the fact that she's doing evil shit.
I mean, he already knew that. That was
true.
obvious.
I guess being thrown into a river, I guess makes you suspicious.
Tails runs off to warn Sonic, but Sonic is too horny to listen. So, Sonic's super horny, and he, before he gives Breezy puts the, chili dog on the table where he will fall for the trap, he gives Breezy a golden locket and a poem. And then he falls for the trap and is captured. And then Breezy is overcome by Sonic's thoughtful and romantic poem, which goes as follows. Robotnik is rotten. Alfalfa is sneezy. From the moment I saw her, I loved my Breezy. Breezy is brought to tears by this.
Yeah, I was like, oh, she's a crying robot, okay.
Yeah.
But they note that later, but I was just like, why did he build whatever? I don't know. He just wanted to make his robots have emotions.
I mean, we've seen him build robots before. He clearly just does some just throws a bunch of things into a machine. He probably, I don't know, maybe he threw like some books, some romance books or something in there.
True. That's how he makes his girls. All the fucking girl robots.
So Breezy is brought to tears and she rescues Sonic from the trap before he's crushed. And they run off and Breezy tells Sonic about how Robotnik's gonna destroy a village. So Sonic goes and stops that with some cartoon bullshit where he hooks the Eggomatic or whatever to a bungee cord. We cut after that. Sonic is depressed because Breezy is gone. And Tails brings Sonic a love poem. And it goes as follows. If I am just a robot, why am I crying? Maybe someday we'll meet down the line. And then, Sonic, you'll be mine. Then they run away to find Breezy.
I'm sure that's great audio. Me snapping. Yeah, but they were like meets down the line, and then they were like, "Hey, let's take this literally," and went into the sunset or whatever. I don't even know what the line is. Is that the name of the river? Like, I don't even know.
I just guess it means like. I think he's also just trying to make a metaphor of let's go find Breezy or whatever.
True, yeah. Fair enough. I guess I'm analyzing a cartoon for no reason.
Then we get a Sonic Says, and this one...
Oh, yeah.
For, like, funsies, I tried to, like, write down it from memory and then check how much I got right, and I got almost all of it, because I watched many YouTube poops as a child, and they loved making YouTube poops with this bit, which is about stranger danger and sexual harassment. I almost wanted to recite it, but now I don't.
Yeah, that's so weird that they used that one so much. I was gonna say, I was like, oh, this one was like kind of serious, even though it was like fun, you know?
Yeah, there's not even
dumb
like
Sonic shit. What kind of joke do you get from? I guess YouTube poops just are like that sometimes. But
yeah,
like,
this was the 2000s. We had edgelord humor, and that meant stuff making fun of stuff like this.
And we still do, but yeah, no, for sure.
It is interesting to note, like, I remember watching most of this series several years ago and seeing a whole bunch of different Sonic Says. There's always, like, some sort of, like, cartoon way of showing, like, what not to do, or how you should act in a situation. This one doesn't. It just has Sonic talking to the camera. Which, you know, probably for the best. You probably don't want to depict that sort of thing in your fun children's cartoon with weird Looney Tunes physics.
Yeah, like, even if they weren't, like, gonna touch him or whatever, like, even if it was like, oh, the bad guy's gonna be out to grab him or whatever, it would still, like, come off with some wild dissonance.
Yeah. There's already enough dissonance just him saying this.
But it's good advice. I mean, you know, get away from them.
Yeah.
Tell a parent. I don't know.
That's no good.
It's no good.
So let me see how far in we are. We're about 27 minutes in, and we don't have asks, so why don't we get into the second one?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Actually, let me just double check. No, we've got no asks. I forgot to send out for asks, and I did send out a quick message in the Discord, but it doesn't look like anyone's seen it, so...
Yeah, I didn't take the Twitter yet, but...
So, let's get into the next episode. This one is called High Stakes Sonic.
There's some sheep in this YouTube thumbnail.
Yeah.
I wonder what that's about.
Yeah. So, in this one, a shorn sheep and a shark gamble over rock, paper, scissors. I did not realize until halfway through watching this that this animal at the start is a shorn sheep and not a monkey or something.
Oh my god.
It does have a different design from the rest of the sheep shown in the episode, though. The shark, who is named Smiley, he's got a zoot suit on, and he talks like a sort of gangster, you know? He's got that, how you say, gangster charm.
Forget about it.
Uh,
Can't believe Joey Wheeler's in this cartoon.
I love it. Shit, and this episode is all about gambling, so yeah.
Oh my god!
That's the dark timeline Joey Weaver, where he's a top.
That's his name also. It's Joey Weaver.
The shark, challenges the sheep to a game of rock, paper, scissors, and if the monkey wins, he gets everything he just lost from Smiley back. Sorry, did I say monkey? I keep saying sheep. I wrote monkey in these notes because I couldn't tell at first. The sheep, if he loses, though, he has to become an indentured servant. This thing heavily hinges on gambling debts making people indentured servants.
That's, I guess, Adventures of Sonic is in a feudal universe. That's fine.
I'm not sure what kind of government this world has.
None.
It's just an assortment of wacky towns that I guess function with mayors and stuff. I don't know. Let's say independent city-states. I don't know.
Yeah. Independent city-states, but Robotnik is trying to conquer it all, or whatever.
Robotnik is Alexander the Great.
It's Greece.
The sheep loses the game of rock, paper, scissors and has to ride what looks like... I'm not sure if it's an alive bus, because when the door... It's got a little shark face on the front, and when the door opens to go inside, a big tongue comes out. I really don't know why they did this.
Oh no, don't like that.
On the bright side, at least the rest of... It is on the side of this bus. It's not you walk straight into the mouth, but there is a tongue there, so I don't know.
I mean, the cat bus is alive too. It's just a shark bus instead of a cat bus.
Right.
Or the first thing I actually thought of was the Fairly Odd Parents April Fool bus, where it's I'll be here all day. I'll be here all day.
That sounds familiar, but I've forgotten.
Yeah. It's fine. It's better that you have.
It sounds familiar. I watched a lot of Fairly Odd Parents as a kid, but I can't quite remember. Sonic and Tails see the bus go by, and they say that's the third one they've seen like this one, so they decide to chase after it and figure out what's going on. And they're at a town where Smiley is conning a bunch of sheep with a robot that plays the shell game, the thing with the 3 shells.
It's also the shell game, the 3-card Monty or whatever. Yeah.
Whatever it is.
Yeah, you're right. I think it just has different names too. But yeah.
Sonic decides to take the challenge for the sheep so they don't lose and become indentured servants. Apparently his super speed also gives him super perception, and he's able to tell exactly where under the, I guess, walnut shells in this case.
Sorry.
Are. No, it's okay. He challenges the dealer a couple more times, and the robot tries to con him, but he outwits them, and then the robot explodes because it's not able to accept losing.
It's like, error,
Yeah.
Or does it, like, just explode? It's like,
it says, like, I wasn't built to lose! And then it, like, blows up. Like, the head flops off. It's a bunch of mess. They all leave, but Smiley uses the Robotnik phone on this robot to call him up, and we see that Robotnik has a bunch of indentured servant sheep building a Sphinx-esque monument for him in his honor. Also in this scene, Robotnik is in a sexy pharaoh costume where he's got the headdress thing and the beard thing, a pair of sandals, and nothing else except for a loincloth.
I didn't know we were going to have a Pot of Greed crossover.
Yami Robotnik.
No! That's just Robotnik, though. He has to have, like, a Hikari side or whatever. It's Sonic.
I guess.
Sonic is Yuki. No, that's not, no.
I mean, if we were to crossbreed from a couple other lore sources, we could say his light side is Ovi Kintobor. That's an AU for you.
There you go. And no, actually, that's what I was gonna say. I was like, actually, Sonic would be the Yugi to, like, Shadow or something.
Yeah. Oh my god. I'm suddenly remembering this incredible fan art that I saw once. That was like an extended Sonic Yu-Gi-Oh! AU, and they had a bunch of really fun and interesting interpretations. Like, the thing I remember liking the most was that Knuckles was Joey and Tikal was Serenity.
Yeah, I think you posted. I think I saw that. Oh man, that was great. I want Knuckles to have a Brooklyn accent.
Yeah. I'm gonna post a picture of Robotnik in his alluring pharaoh costume.
Sexy.
Truly the sexiest fat man in animation.
Damn. Whoever sent in that ask was right.
Thank you, Max.
Oh man, why does he have, like, a belly button gem?
Yeah,
he's a fucking Steven Universe character now. I'm just making all the AUs right now. Let's go. Fucking Sonic Steven Universe AU? I'm sure that exists. There's, like, Steven Universe AUs for, like, everything.
Yeah, at the very least, I know there are a bunch of, like, fusion AUs. I remember, like, some months back, looking around on Tumblr, I found, like, some sort of, like, the tallest from Invader Zim doing the Steven Universe fusion dance. Yeah, I'm not saying that in a bad way, just to be clear. I thought all of this was very fun.
Yeah, no, that's great. Like, he's just chilling.
So where was I?
Chilling like a villain.
Robotnik and Smiley hash out some stuff a bit. Grounder has to, like, give Robotnik his, like, body phone so Robotnik can call Smiley. And Robotnik's building a casino night zone so to get more indentured servants. He's really mean to Grounder, and I feel really bad for Grounder in this bit. Like, Grounder leaves, and he's like, well, at least you didn't call me a hopeless hunk of junk. I must be doing better. And then Robotnik calls him a hopeless hunk of junk.
I mean, didn't he punch him in last episode?
Yeah, he did. Him or Scratch,
I think he's just fucking mean. Like, I think he just doesn't like Grounder. Like, rip to Grounder.
Smiley lures all of the sheep from before into the casino night zone with the promise of the first bet being free. And we get the casino night zone, which does not look like how it does in Sonic 2. It looks like some sort of weird night casino place. which I guess is technically a casino night zone.
Yeah, that would,
It's a very abstract interpretation.
but that's what saying, I assume they like start gambling and then they're like, I can't stop gambling.
Yeah, so like the sheep start gambling and like Sonic figures out that these games are all rigged and
Rip.
a bunch of sheep get like their like coats, their wool like shorn off when they lose to some, what's the word I'm looking for? Slot machines. So Sonic disguises himself as an electrician and tricks Scratch and Grounder into giving him the keys to the power box that controls all the rigged games. So Sonic reconfigures all the games so they give out jackpots. Scratch is pissed that because apparently they decided to give real money for the winnings. Like, they could have just put in fake money, but Grounder's like, we can't squelch on a bet.
Oh my god.
Scratch is like, yes, we could have. We're evil.
Yeah, I love that Grounder's like kind of nice because he's kind of like he's like the he's like the dull character. He's like the goofy like, haha, he's dumb or whatever. But like he's kind of ends up being like nicer because of that.
Yeah,
they're very anti-villain or whatever. They're like kind of goofy. They seemed. This is something I noticed. Were they kind of distressed when like Robotnik was gonna like flood the town?
He does sound like stressed out when he says that, but it's not like he does anything about it. But he's like, but what will happen to all the people?
Yeah, they both seem actually like Scratch also seemed kind of like, and I'm like, why do you care?
They find out Sonic was in disguise, and Sonic has Tails hide out in a nursery room where, well, is nursery the room the right word? Yeah, I guess so. Where there's a babysitter and there's a ball pit. The babysitter is like some pig lady. What I wrote in this next note is Sonic tricks Scratch and Grounder into blowing up the Hoover Dam and destroying New Vegas.
I wish the concept of that is really funny, and I'm sure it's much funnier for people who've played New Vegas, but I do appreciate it either way.
I'm suddenly remembering how, like, there was years ago, I remember seeing this one artist create like a really fun Fallout New Vegas AU for Sonic. I really loved it because like it wasn't like dark in a way that Sonic normally isn't dark. It's like it was like reevaluating all the characters in ways that fit.
I'm suddenly reminded of Fallout
Equestria.
Yeah.
I remember at the time thinking, man, if Fallout Equestria had this much like effort and charm, maybe I wouldn't hate it. Also, as a side note, the artist who did that also got like a really popular Tumblr post at some point talking about like weird 50s food. But all that aside, Sonic tricks them into like releasing the dam that I guess is providing hydroelectric power or something. I don't know. He just does it.
Yeah, what was it like hinted at before?
I really don't remember why he does this. It never comes up again in the episode. It just, maybe they just needed Sonic away for the next bit. But anyways, like, he gets Scratch and Grounder to pull on a release valve on the dam, and by disguising it as a slot machine. So anyways, like, Tails is, like, hanging out in the ball pit, and like, he's been in there for, like, 10 minutes, and the babysitter says it's gonna cost, like, 1 million Mobians, and then the ball pit turns into a trap door, and Tails is captured. Robotnik, like, the next scene is
child abuse.
Yeah. Oh, that reminds me. There is one very distinct thing about Tails in this universe and we'll probably get more into it in the future, but like Tails in this universe is canonically a 4-year-old. There's a gag in an early part of one episode where like Sonic asks him to read a letter, but then he says like, I can't, I'm 4 years old, I'm illiterate.
Oh, he's just a fucking like genius in other ways.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's. Oh, wait, were there other kids in this nursery? Like,
No, it was just him and the babysitter.
okay, because I was gonna say, I was like, were the other kids captured? No, that makes sense.
Robotnik, like, no, sorry. The next bit, Tails is in a cage, and Robotnik's, like, talking to him, and, like, Tails is all brave and rebellious, and he, like, ties Robotnik's mustache to the cage, and then, like, Robotnik pulls, and Tails undoes it, and Robotnik goes flying. Sonic, starts looking for Tails, and he meets Smiley, who is in a pool, and he's like, Sonic, you gotta race it if you want Tails back, and you gotta lose. And so that's the setup. There's a big race between Sonic and Grounder, and if Sonic wins, the people betting a bunch of sheep literally bet their lives that Sonic will win.
Oh no.
It's clarified that in this case the life they're betting isn't like they die, it's they become indentured servants again.
But like, why? So what? He has to either save the sheep or Tails. Like when he saves the sheep or lose, he saves Tails.
Yeah, that's how it's set up. He can either save the sheep or he can save Tails. Big moral choices in this Sonic thing. But
can't believe he has the trolley problem. Damn.
Yeah, so he races against Grounder they have to go to Mount Robotnik and back with a flag, and like there's a whole walk of shame sequence with. Oh, are you all right?
Yeah, I'm fine. Sorry.
Okay.
I'm very professional.
There's a whole like walk of shame sequence for Sonic, and like he's at the base of the mountain and Grounder's at the peak, and Grounder like pushes a boulder to crush Sonic. Sonic just accepts it, and then Grounder, after he like comes off it pancake style, Grounder like tells him that they're keeping Tails in the secret room underneath the stadium, and Sonic realizes he can just rescue Tails and then win because he's super fast. So that's what he does. There's like a bit like just before Grounder reaches the finish line where like Scratch is like celebrating that Grounder is winning. He does call Grounder his little brother, and like Robotnik orders Scratch to take the betting Mobians off to do slave labor. And then, like, Sonic does the whole rescue thing and wins, but then when he wins, he finds out Robotnik already took all the sheep away, and he's using them as slaves. So we cut back to the pyramid place from the beginning, and Sonic beats Robotnik. He, like, rearranges the face of the Sphinx that they're building to have Sonic's face, and he rescues all the sheep. Robotnik loses.
RIP.
Just before, like, Sonic rescues everyone, Robotnik mentions that his mama would be proud of him. And that's very important. It is lore relevant to this series.
What?
Yeah, Robotnik. We're going to get into Robotnik mom stuff later on.
Oh no. Just in this show or in general?
In this show
okay.
specifically. No, to the best of my knowledge, nothing. Not even like Ken Penders, who loves his extended family trees, talks about Robotnik's mom. We do get, like, in Penders' era, Robotnik's brother, but that's neither here nor there.
Hmm.
So Sonic, like I said, Sonic saves the day. There's like a whole bit at the end where like the rescued sheep ask, "Can we be freedom fighters too? Are you willing to fight to stop Robotnik?" And they're like, "Yeah, that's something we can. That's worth betting on."
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. Um, where did all the wool go?
I I mean, I don't know because like the indentured servant sheep all have their wool gone, and I don't know like if he uses it. I guess it's just to like clown on the sheep.
Is it just to like embarrass them? Like that's what I was wondering. I was like, I would think so. I didn't see this episode, so I would think like, oh, he's gonna take the wool and then make them like make something with it and be indentured servitudes to be like make textiles and stuff. But no, that's not even relevant. Not at all. Great.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know why I'm trying to make sense of this show, but like I feel like there's a difference between goofy cartoon stuff and like plot stuff that doesn't make sense, you know?
yeah. I guess he's just doing it to humiliate them. He's
Fair
a
enough.
cartoon villain. He would probably do that. We get another Sonic Says, and this time, Scratch and Grounder bet each other that they can run across a bridge for a train, and then the train starts to come, and they jump off the bridge so they don't get run over. And Sonic says to the audience, "Don't make stupid dares." That's the episode. Yeah, so guess that about covers it. Any further thoughts?
No, I mean, other than, damn, you watched a lot of adventures between this week and last week.
I mean, it's just
um,
2 episodes. It's like 44 minutes.
yeah, I guess it's not actually that much, but I'm just like, what if you get a third week in a row? Did he wear the pharaoh costume the whole time?
He only wears the pharaoh costume when he's in the desert. So, like, what in the first scene he's in and the last scene he's in. In the other scenes, he's just in his usual like red and yellow getup.
Damn.
So let me find my die so I can roll for next week.
Because we didn't get questions. If you want to ask questions, you can send it to Shuffle Sonic on Twitter, or our email at Sonic Shufflepod. Is that what it is?
SonicShufflecast@gmail.com.
SonicShufflecast@gmail.com.
All right, I've got a die. I'm gonna open up the list. So, and I'm gonna roll. That is a 4. We're going back to UK stuff. We're gonna read more Stay Sonic next week.
Nice. Stay frosty, everyone. No, but
Morg, where can we find you?
you can find me at Haunting the Morg. That's Haunting the MORG on Twitter. You can also find me on my new podcast, Wow Cool Robot, which I think is Cool Robot Pod. I don't remember, but that's fine. I have it in my pinned tweet. So, yeah, it's Wow Cool Podcast on Twitter, but it's called Wow Cool Robot, and it's a Gundam rewatch, or I guess Gundam first time watch podcast that I do with Maxi Bajillion, and we talk about it, and it's fun. It's good stuff. We watch 3 episodes a week, and yeah, I'm on the first like series of it, and then Max will have different hosts.
All right. I'm Dan. You can find everywhere I'm at linktr.ee/Mike_Dawson with a 0. You can find their my Twitter, my art blog, and my Ko-fi. At the time of this recording, I'm putting my art on hold because I left. I'm at my mom's house for the quarantine, and I left my tablet pen charger at my own apartment, so I have to go back there at some point. What was I gonna say? You can find my other podcast that I'm on, Pot of Greed, a Yu-Gi-Oh podcast, also with Maxi Bajillion, as well as Sarah McCostumes, Argyle Funk, and Elliot, the Tormentor.
Yeah, I was like, I think it's Tormentor. I don't know.
Yeah. You can listen to Strangers Fiction, which is an actual play podcast mainly dedicated towards one-shots. Though recently we recorded the first episode of a campaign of Interstitial, where I will be playing the role of Kazuma Kiryu. I'm looking forward to more of it. I love role playing, and I love being Kiryu. And you can also find at Xbox_holiday, which is the Xbox comedy blog where Usher celebrates holidays with Xbox. And as always, Sonic is real, he is strong, and he is my friend.
Sonic is the only blue life that matters.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone.